had mentioned in other 820 podcast episodes that, well, I referenced many times that book called The Three Magic Words, and not so much the ultimate statement in that book. It was somewhere in the middle about that quest for my understanding and search for the essence, the duration, the process for thought. And in there, I was looking at this passage in the book about we don't think, we can only observe the thoughts given to us, meaning we don't really create any thought. We can observe the thoughts that come to us, and then we make the decision to pursue, execute, decide, and that is also based upon how we understand ourselves about what drives us, which leads me back to my book, Resilience, the Beauty of Presence. And I say that as a preamble to this discussion today, only because this topic also, I didn't create this topic. And by the way, it's called today, How Much Will Do You Have? I didn't create that. It really just came to me. And that preamble, the past 30 seconds, I just want to give you that context of, I'm not dreaming these things up, although some of these topics do come in my dreams that I'm becoming more aware of now, but I don't create them. And like the dreams when I'm asleep, or even the dreams when I'm awake, sometimes things come across, in a soft, subtle way, not screaming at me. And maybe you have a similar experience, but those things that are really not just titillate you or excite you, they move you forward. They stir something within you that makes you want to further discover, further develop that nugget, that idea, that whisper. Anyway, that's how we got here in this topic today. Just letting you know that. Again, how much will do you have? I'm not talking about the written testament to your eventual and final demise. Where your survivors and benefactors get to divvy up the stuff you left behind. I'm not talking about that. The question is about your intrinsic, internal will. As a sidebar, if you open to pick up a copy of the book, there's a section there about the mode of the will. It's one of the sub-models that, again, all models are wrong, some are useful, but in the book itself, the sub-model called mode of the will is also in there if you want to get some more insight about my perspective on that. But this thing about how much will do you have, I'm trying to relate this aspect of will to you, to me, and to our resilience. Your pursuit for, to, and through your very best every day. Each moment you present yourself as fully aware and in full agreement with your own purpose and mission here. This topic about will just hit me like a ton of bricks a few moments ago. As I mentioned before, the idea about the will was percolating somewhere in my heart, but then I was I was engaging in a casual listening to a Mr. Jocko Willink, a very formidable special operations Navy SEAL leader that I respect just from his demeanor and his message that I only know from the internet. I never met the man. I definitely do not know him other than what I gleaned from his YouTube channel and other interviews that I perused about him. But some people, you just feel a common sensibility and applied and tested related experiences under and through kill or get killed situations. Not just about training and running and getting physically strong to contribute to a dangerous warrior type profession. that kind of stuff, even if we converge the physical training that maybe we do as old or older people to get in some sort of shape and fitness, we can do that. But like me, I have starts and stops on that journey still today. But that training for combat and or for life is just that, training. Under some moderate simulation or estimation or modeling for the job that you will actually have to do when the real test, when the real life, when the real kill or be killed event or condition confronts you and I today. Again, pardon the pretty much extended long preamble for the context to the discussion today. I may have to continue this in part 2. But let's get on to the will discussion. What Mr. Willink stated in the video that I mentioned earlier really excited me and more fully educated me on this thing called will. He was talking about the reason to join the military, or even for the sexier, apparently, professions of Rangers and SEALs and special operators. When you do that, he says, it's not just for the badges and the school certificates and the ribbons and the medals and the training. The real, raw, genuine, sincere, humble, confident, and courageous reason to volunteer for that kind of profession comes down to your will. Your willingness to kill. Part A. Part B, your willingness to die. Now, let me clarify my reason for citing Mr. Willink's story and the deeply honest description of the service that he provided and provides in his life's journey. I don't even qualify or approach what he and other elite operators do or did in their careers. Yes, in my history, I was a combat airborne and ranger trained soldier for less than 10 years in doing it. And yes, I applied my training in actual kill or be killed combat operations, leading my company into and through a conflict or pseudo mini war. But when Mr. Willink succinctly defined the reason to want to be part of that profession that I was a part of, he says you have to center and revolve around those two wills you gotta have. Willing to kill, willing to die. But, as I said earlier, let me do this in part 2, continue this in part 2, because I don't want to run over your time or abuse your attention span to me. Again, I want to give you less than 10 minutes of the day out of your busy schedule on this journey towards resilience. This is part 1 of how much will do you have. So stand by. Until next time, stay present, stay current. Remember, no matter where you are in this world, it's still 820.